Alright, so just driving down to get a coffee right now. It's friggin' early, boys. Gonna meet up with Travis in a bit to go do the duck, or kind of look at the duck blind and put our layouts out. But I thought this would be a perfect time to do Deadeye Talk number 3, and we're gonna talk about duck calls today. A little drowsy, but we're gonna go with it, okay? So there's two different types of duck calls that we would use out in the field. You'd have a single read and a double read. The single read is what like most professional callers would prefer. This is because you can have if you know what you're doing, you can act like there's three, 4, 5, whatever, a flock of ducks in series on one call. If you can master it, it sounds really good. Also, the pitches are very different and easier to kind of get, and you can go higher and lower with them on the same call and kind of make it sound a little bit nicer. But a double read has 2 reads, and it can do everything you can on a single read, except for it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's harder, but you kind of have tone issues. But I take both of them on my lanyard every time, and I basically use a double read unless it gets later in the season when it's colder, because the reeds will stick together. I get no issues with both. Double read's definitely easier to blow and like kind of get some sound to come out of, but like I said, it's hard to get the initial like a perfect note out of it. So it's a couple different styles of duck calls. There would be like an open water duck call, so that would be like your zinc power hens. So they're the ones that are pretty loud on the top end, but are hard to control when you get to the bottom. That's for hunting open water, obviously. So that's what get the attention of the ducks that are across the pond or across the lake, or maybe migrators are way out there. Next would be a timber call, so it's kind of the opposite. So that's it's a call that's lowered in sound, so it's good when ducks are coming in, so you can finish them. So like a timber call, you know how we don't really have it. I haven't really hunted it like they do on TV, but so if you ever watch wild TV, all those guys are hunting in the timber with the dogs on the platform and stuff like that. A lot of those guys would use a timber call. It's soft. It's the last note that the ducks are going to hear when you want them to finish in just one specific spot. Yeah, and they're really soft. So like a echo acrylic timber call which is probably one of the best and most popular that a lot of people use. It's a great option. And then next, also a timber call is really good if you're hunting over ice. So it's basically, just remember the timber call is great for finishing. The ducks are there at that last moment, and that's when you can kind of get them to get just a little bit closer for that shot. Next up, we go to the cut down call, which is one of the most popular duck calls. So basically, they call it a cut down call because back in the day, there used to be this like the old reed duck call. They used to cut that down and trim it to the preference, and they just became really popular. So they're very, very loud, and I love to use them. So Echo makes a great line of them, and the Rolling Thunder set of duck calls is really popular with them. So that was basically my duck call rant. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what we use now. Like I just use a R&T MVP, which I don't even like bringing out to the field because it's friggin' expensive, and if I drop it or get it all ruined, it ruins me in my bank account. I use a straight meat, and then I just use a Canadian hammer for the my goose call. And we do have me and Travis both have like a woody call and a Drake whistle, but never really use them because we're hunting a lot of these open water spots, but you don't even know what's there, so you just start calling and see what happens. Travis would use his Ducks Unlimited call. I don't know what it is. It's a Ducks Unlimited call, which is just pretty nice. He uses a double nasty, which I would recommend for anybody. That would be the call that I would recommend for any person to start out duck hunt. Use a double nasty, and then he uses a Canadian clucker. So that's his goose call. That goose call is really good. I don't know who made it. I don't know if it was a local company or somebody else. I just haven't looked it up, but that works really good. So yeah, I think that's really all we have for this video. Also stay tuned for some more stuff that's going to be coming out. We're going to try to get out a couple videos, like actual videos that are not shot on the phone. within the next couple of weeks. But it also is going to be busy because I go back to university, Travis goes back to school as well, and duck season isn't for another month, so we're going to try to get out once or twice a week if we can and get some stuff done. So anyways guys, hunt hard, play hard.